Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. It's Lee here from Grasp Logic Perspectives, and we're going to be taking a look at a few charts today, doing a bit of a coin check, looking at the cryptocurrency market. So we're on the 1 month for Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin has been performing pretty well. We got some sideways movement more or less here. On the 3 month, you can kind of see that we are on a very strong upwards trend, pretty much doubling value in the last 3 months, which is just crazy to think about. Obviously I think everyone's been caught up in, there's been so many different trading opportunities between GameStop and, the meme stocks, high short interest, as we're seeing that stock kind of paradigm shift. But you kind of forget just how much of a fucking bull run we are on here. It's just tremendous. And, if you look at the technicals too, we do have on the 3 month, a bit of a cup and handle forming here. Obviously we haven't broken out. But I would say that there are people on the short side that, obviously that's why we did see in my opinion, we saw the surge recently, those Bitcoin options contracts running out, because, people who are on the short side are also going to go long, so they can drop those longs and try to cause, more of a panic or shake people out. But as you can see, very nice setup on the cup and handle, and we're consolidating, which is exactly what we want to see. We want to see nice sideways movement after a cup and handle here on the 3 month, and I would expect Bitcoin to set a new all-time high by the end of this week. That's what I'm expecting. Obviously, I'm not putting in any. I'm not an options guy, but obviously I do like what I'm seeing here. So obviously on the 1 month too, you can kind of see the head and shoulders set up right here. It's also kind of a cup and handle because obviously this is a little bit higher than the left shoulder, which is exactly what we want to see because it's a nice upward trend. But as I said, the technicals here on Bitcoin are really strong, and that usually means good things to the market overall. So we're going to jump over and take a look at Ethereum here. Now, obviously, there is some correlation between all cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is kind of the granddaddy of at the current time, if you will. But if we look at the 7-day, again, we do have a cup and handle. So again, the right side is a little higher than the left, which is good. It indicates that we're pushing higher, we're testing that high, and there is, obviously a lot of buy power that came in here. But yeah, I think that this is again very similar to Bitcoin. If you look at the 1 month, we'll put the 1 month here. You can see that we are on a nice little uptrend, a little less sideways movement than Bitcoin. But that's exactly what I was saying. On the 3 month, you can see, cup. Test, it's a lower on the right, but that's still a really nice setup, and then a handle there bouncing up and exploding up to that new all-time high. Now Ethereum is important to be paying attention to, in my opinion, especially if you're somebody who trades or invests in DeFi, which I am. Now the reason I say that is because as Ethereum appreciates in price, I feel like there is a just like when Ethereum, just like when Bitcoin increases in price, Ethereum tends to follow that trend, and then the DeFi market follows that trend. I feel that Ethereum usually we see after an all-time high, we see liquidity flow out of Ethereum and out of BTC, just because there are people that are trying to hedge and make sure they're taking profit, because you got to keep in mind there are people that are still trading this, although I am a long-term investor in cryptocurrency because I believe in the underlying blockchain technology and the decentralized nature. I just think that over time individuals will realize that that's a necessity to having a functioning smooth marketplace. Litecoin. Now, Litecoin has been performing quite well recently, especially if you are looking for a swing trade. Obviously, we got a huge W here, so that is very encouraging. We're just exploding out of that. We did just, if I go to the 3 month here, I think we did just test the 3 month high, 241. Yeah, and we broke it. So we have broken that high, and again on the 3 month we have a nice W. So from a technical standpoint, if you look at the correlation with the volume as well, we're seeing nice healthy sideways consolidation, and then obviously we broke that high. So I would expect us to pull back a little here, but I'm very bullish on Litecoin, at least short term. Jump over to Chainlink to take a look. Now, if you're not familiar with Chainlink, it is one of my favorite altcoins or cryptocurrency technologies, because it does implement the Oracle technology. Now, I hold a good amount of Chainlink, and if you see here on the year to date, you can actually see that we've had a really nice growth pattern, but it's been kind of sustainable. We aren't seeing anything that's really dramatic. I mean, we saw this downward move, which was the most dramatic. We haven't seen anything, with that much power or liquidity moving in the upwards direction yet. We do see that the all-time high, February 15th, was $34. Now, I think this is tremendously undervalued. I think that Chainlink is it definitely has a use case, and I think that in time it definitely will be priced in. But again, if we look here, we did have a nice double bottom, and then we sustained a higher low here. So in my opinion, I do expect us to set a new all-time high on Chainlink, as I do with BTC, just because it does, the technicals are very strong, and I feel like Link has been, out of everything, the fundamentals of the project I don't believe that this $32 price tag for a Chainlink token or coin is appropriate, given the value and use case that Chainlink has. I would highly suggest taking a look at Chainlink closer if you haven't. I will be making a video kind of outlining the advantages of this technology over different cryptocurrencies in terms of ease of use and autonomy. Now let's go back. So obviously I am quite bullish on a lot of this stuff. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin Cash. Now I know a lot of people, Bitcoin Maxis are not a fan of Bitcoin Cash, but you can see that obviously if we look at the type of liquidity that has entered this space previously, now obviously this was during the 2017 bull run, so take that with a grain of salt, but I actually do hold a good amount of Bitcoin Cash because I do think, again, there is a use case. But again, I think that too many people try to compare, okay, well this cryptocurrency can, be sent at a very fast speed. Well, okay, this one is super secure, and then sometimes I guess people think that it's all or nothing. But to me, I think that there are a lot of different opportunities, and it's an early space. So I wouldn't say that I'm concerned. If we look at the trading volume here on Bitcoin Cash, you can see that it's dropped off huge after we had that big gap up. But again, on the 7-day here, beautiful cup and handle setup. Really just testing this bottom here, and again, it's always encouraging when you can see that the trigger point. So obviously it has gone lower than this gap up here, but it looks like before this gap up, this is a next resistance. So I'd expect it to bounce off 666 or 664, maybe a little lower. But again, I like the setup here. I think really a lot of big money is just waiting to see what happens in the index funds, because it is so uncertain right now with poor response to stimulus, and there are going to be some liquidity issues, in my opinion, going forward. But that's just my opinion. So let's take a look at one of my favorite coins. I cannot find it here. Algorand. Here we go. Now, I'm a huge fan of Algorand. I've been in since pretty early. I believe I got in at like 80 cents, 90 cents. Now, this is a project that I will be holding for a long time. But let's go ahead and look at the technicals. Now, I really like this technical setup because on the 1 month we have that nice sideways consolidation, in a very narrow range of consolidation here, which always is encouraging because sideways movement usually will take place before a sudden move up or down. Obviously we did, if I look at the 1 month here, the 7-day, obviously we did gap up big recently. Now, I would say that this is still sideways consolidation, in my opinion. I do not believe that we have broken above 169.50 or 169.95, sorry, or 171 it looks like, and we're coming down here. So I would say that we're still in this sideways consolidation. And if I look at the all-time, if I look at like how high it has been, so it looks like $1.49 is on the all-time chart. Okay, this is confusing. Anyway, point being is that I am bullish on Algorand going forward, just because I think the price on it is very, very low. And if we look at the volume activity here, 108% increase in volume, and the price has moved, but I still believe, like I said, we're in this narrow sideways consolidation. Obviously, we've gapped up recently, but if you can see here, this is a great example, right? So we gapped up from 99 cents, came back down. Looks like we went to 88 cents. But since then, we've just really narrowed this channel. So obviously, we did have a lot of growth and a lot of liquidity and trading volume increase, but we're still moving sideways here, in my opinion. I've added to Algorand many times. I'm a big fan of this. Many times on the way up here, and also during drops. But I'm a big fan of Algorand. One of my favorite things about it is it does pay you out in 6% APY of whatever you hold in that. Now, obviously, that is based on the current price of the token. But just from even a fintech perspective, it's amazing to be able to lock in 6% APY. I use Coinbase to use that reward system. But if you haven't heard about Algorand, I would highly suggest taking a look at it, just because I think that it's very rare that you'll be able to guarantee a 6% return. Obviously, you'll have to determine if it's an asset that will retain its value or increase in value, or you know what have you. Obviously, like I said, I'm more here to just give my opinion and provide information. But they have a really strong team, and I really do think we still continue upwards. As you can see, I'm going to earn more BAT here. All right, we're going to take a look at Hebdera hash graph. Now, this is another thing that I'm quite long on. The technicals, move sideways quite a bit, and it does look like we are forming a head and shoulders pattern. So, that would suggest short-term bearishness, at least on the all-time chart. As you can see, we also double topped, so that does. As you can see, we did go down from there, but we did double bottom here. Double bottom on the right side was a little lower than the left. So I would suggest, at least just looking at the technicals, we could see a pullback from Hebdera. But again, it depends on what the rest of the market does. I would probably be looking to make an entry below 12 cents. It's not going to drop that much. I'd probably be looking to make an entry below 30 cents. 35 cents, somewhere around there. But again, we could see it run up, and this is why it's good to always have long and short positions, just so you can have options. You don't have to sell all of your long, or you can have a trade option depending on how you see the asset that you're trading or investing in. But long story short, I do like this idea. I would suggest taking a look, and just so you know, I will be doing a profile on each of these crypto technologies, cryptocurrencies that I am currently invested in, just because I believe that there are good use cases, and it's all about information. You just want to make sure that you're informed. So, Hebdera, it is setting up. It does seem like lower resistance right at that 30 cent mark. So again, I would try to be picking up something. At the current price, this is still, I still like this. I still like stacking this. But again, you can see very big trading volume drop off. So that's why I'm a big fan of Algorand right now. Sustained a lot of upward movement. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Dash here. Dash is one of my favorite coins, the digital cash network. Obviously, they work with Lightning payments and privacy payments, what have you. You can kind of see it down here, decentralized in nature, and it's a fork of Litecoin. So anyway, point being is that I am a fan of this coin for its use case, but also from a trading standpoint. Even if you're just looking to trade this, there is a very nice setup. We can see that they have sustained a double bottom here, and then the bulls have just come up and just entered with a large amount of liquidity upwards. So we are going to look at the 1 month, and you can see that we do kind of have more sideways consolidation. Obviously, we are on a trend up, but this is fairly sideways in my opinion. No huge liquidity, and entrances apart from here. And again, we can see that it looks like that was dumped, or at least in response, a bear had dumped some longs in response to that large liquidity entering. If you look at the 3-month though, it's one of the more interesting parts of the chart. We can see that double top again, but we can kind of see the beginnings of a cup forming. Now obviously the right side is lower than the left, so that's not a great sign from a bearish perspective, but we do handle right off that. So at the current time, I am bullish on Dash. I think that we do go up from here. I think that Dash is very there's a use case and there's a reason to invest in it. If we look at the year to date, we can see that it went up to 321 previously, but the all-time high is up there in 1,177. So quite a amount of liquidity entering here. Obviously, that was during a 2017 run-up, which a lot of cryptocurrencies experienced this, and as you can see, pretty much all of that liquidity exited. So that's what I was saying in terms of trading, and it's why it's so important to identify if you are interested in investing long-term or just looking to trade an asset. Dash, I would be trading this asset. I hold it, but again, if we see a considerable increase here, barring that cash is still valuable, who knows how long that'll be, but barring the cash is still valuable, I could see a case for trading this. But again, to kind of wrap everything up, I've taken a look at a few different cryptocurrencies. Always feel free to recommend if you guys would like me to take a look at any specific crypto. I know VeChain is quite popular, Solana. There's a lot of different, Tron even, a lot of people are a big fan of. I'm happy to take a look at any of these. Just remember, I'm not a economist or a professional individual. I'm just a guy who likes looking at charts, and I have some opinions about how technology and trends may continue. Now, obviously, like I was saying, we are seeing stagnance overall in the market at the current time. We're seeing that sideways consolidation. So my forecast for the week, more or less, would be more sideways consolidation, at least for the next 24 hours. And then depending on how U.S. indexes perform, we could see liquidity enter or exit. Again, a sideways movement doesn't always mean an upwards movement, but judging by the technicals, we are looking like we could be going up here. One of the most important things about entering or exiting a position, in my opinion, is knowing the value that you place on it. So if you know that you're going to trade it, if you know you're going to invest it, and then on top of that, just making sure that you're scaling in or scaling out, depending on your comfort. Now, I'm a big fan of scaling in just because it can make sure that you're dollar cost averaging and getting more cryptocurrency in return for your fiat currency. But especially right now with the market having so many catalysts going forward, you got the Coinbase IPO. You just had Ethereum hit all-time highs. There are a handful of DeFi that's about to hit all-time highs, in my opinion. I think we do see quite a nice spring and summer for the cryptocurrency market, and that is my opinion. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, and I'll be making some more commentary videos regarding the stock market, bond liquidity, a number of things that I'd love to discuss. But again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day or evening, or whatever you're doing today. And I will see you guys in the next video.